So we recently went and did the Mudgee Classic, which is one of the newest mass participation cycling events here in New South Wales. Mudgee is about 3.5 hours sort of northwest of Sydney. But we did something we had not done in a long time. We all went as a family. So what I would like to do today is tell you that story, the story of the weekend. So let's do it, the Mudgee Classic 2021. Who gave them these? This is the second year of the Mudgee Classic. It is a mass participation Fondo style event organised by the same guys who do the Bowral Classic and the Snowy Classic. So whilst it's going to be a really good ride, it's not a legit hard bike race, so it should be a little bit less pressure, which means a little bit more family friendly. So that was actually pretty fun. What was that, 3.5, I think, in total coming down, which wasn't too bad at all. We spent, actually Elizabeth and I spent the majority of that drive reminiscing about disastrous trips. Young, really young family, and we're talking months old kids, especially multiples, that it just wasn't fun for either of us. We kind of were reminiscing. I think the low point was a trip to Orange. I'll link that video below. With the event on the Sunday, we'd come down on the Friday, which meant we had a nice chilled Friday night at Kelly's Irish Pub, had time for a beer and get ourselves ready for a family day on Saturday. Okay, so good morning. Welcome to Saturday. We had a bit of news last night that
it was supposed to be 180 kilometers or whatever it was, but it turns out to then you checked it again, and then it was 105.
This is correct. Yes. So the event has been basically slashed in half due to road issues with floods and bits and pieces. Disappointing. Actually, I was really looking forward to a big long day out. And also, we've woken up on Saturday and it's raining outside. Slower day it does look. Not going to lie to you, with the event shortened and a rainy Saturday ahead of us, we were, kind of regretting the decision to come a day early at this stage. Lead the way, see the way. I think when you find yourself on a Saturday meandering the halls and corridors of a big W, you're probably starting to run out of ideas on what to do. But it did give us a chance to head out to the event village a little bit early and see what was going on out there, and ask some of the guys, how the people had reacted really to the course being shortened. How many registered for this one?
Year?
Yeah.
Almost 2,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes.
What's the sort of split across the...
Oh gosh, I think it was like 300 for the maxi.
Yeah. So the 130 was probably the most popular.
It usually is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So has there been any feedback on the?
Yeah. Well, everyone's been understanding. I mean.
So no one's come back and, how dare you?
I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
We can't send people out in a dangerous condition. So. Yeah, but it's been good.
Cool. So I reckon I actually thought that was quite interesting. So only 300 people doing the long course out of 2,500. And so really, if you think about it, the amount of people that are affected by the thing being shortened is not really that big. Anyway, we'll press on. The girls are keeping busy. All right, let's go. I was so close to bringing the gravel bike down, but I didn't do it because I just didn't want the extra hassle, extra annoyance of another bike, and I was regretting that decision. I got a new bike, and the last thing you want to do is ride it around in the slop, but we got out anyway.
So one thing you need to know about the Millers, we can't sit down. So while the girls are bouncing around in there, we just climb walls, we literally can't do it. And I was just thinking, I did a ride the day before the Fondo last year, and it was a beautiful day, and I had that big smug face on me, didn't I? Anyway, I just used the old Strava route designer, threw 60 Ks in, and I'm not going to speak too soon, But looking over there, that looks all right. Just coming back to having the family here, like, let's not beat around the bush, right? The biggest hesitation is just the expense. I mean, it takes a weekend that's potentially like $300 into the over $1,000 space. And like, does everyone get value for it? Is that sort of spent better elsewhere on a different trip? We've always leaned to yes. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it. Is the expense worth it from the family perspective, really?
More importantly, what are these disc brakes like? Oh yes, there's going to be a disc brake vlog coming, don't you worry about that. Unfortunately, you didn't really have to use your brakes at any point in any of these rides out here, but we'll do something about that in the future. But in the afternoon, guys, it started to clear up, which meant it looked like it was going to be a beautiful Sunday to ride the Mudgee Classic. Well, good morning. Today is definitely not yesterday. There's a beautiful blue sky morning, as you can see, but it's about 3 degrees. Freshest morning so far for me. So guys, I just want to quickly talk here. So yeah, obviously super bummed about the race or the ride being shortened. And like in terms of the ride myself, what I want to do is, today I had planned very much to make this... Morning.
Morning.
Hello. See you down there. I'd kind of planned to make this a good solid day, like 180 Ks. This was going to be like 250, 300 TSS. So how do I make today, which is 100 Ks, flat, like this is just flat ride, okay? So my plan today on the ride is just to go to the front and just ride hard, from the gun, and like not race it, like attack people, but literally just ride super hard. Now, unfortunately, on this bike so far, I don't have any sort of bike camera mount yet, so I'll do a bit of handheld when I can, but apart from that, we'll head down to the start line, we'll check it out, but let's see how hard we can make this, all right? 3, 2, 1, and they are off. They are off and racing. Well, not really. So as I said, guys, no bike camera here. So I just handheld this. How do you know this is not an official bike race? It is when you have some dude riding around holding a GoPro filming people riding their bikes. Don't try this at home. Please don't do this in a bike race. You'll potentially get disqualified. Anyway, guys, so doing this is what I'm talking about just riding and riding hard. And we set a really good rhythm early. This guy in front of me definitely gets the most MVP of this wave. He rode the most turns easily, this dude, absolutely bossing it. Fantastic stuff. And yeah, we had probably a solid sort of core unit of like 5 or 6 guys. The Toland CC guys, Miles's club, shout to those boys. They were ripping some big turns, especially at the end. Big shout also to Peter Wakefield there. Good luck to him doing the NRS version of the Grafton Twin Vrel coming up this weekend. So I just want to quickly show you, hopefully I can manage to film this handheld, but this is the guys just rolling through some turns. Now, not everyone was that familiar with how to do that, but I think there was enough guys, some core unit guys on showing everyone how to do that. And that sort of group there that you can see there right now, that's kind of the core unit that we had rolling, and it just made this day, like the good thing about riding this style is you can make it as hard as you want. Like if you want to skip some turns, no problems. It's not a race. You can skip as many turns as you want. You can just hang on as long as you want. Who cares? Or you can roll as many turns as you want and just make this super hard on yourself, which was really what I wanted to do for myself.
Got it. Finishing up here.
The first riders, Chris Miller, the fastest man in New South Wales, Chris Miller.
Here I am. That was a good shot, boys. Good shot. Made what we could of that. We're back. We're back already. Kids aren't here. Where's Elizabeth? Nowhere to be seen. Howdy.
Okay. Kiwi, can you tell us what we're doing? We're We were trying to catch up to Dada. Oh, that's good. We were trying to catch up to Dada because we were trying to film him, but he didn't come. And we're chasing after him, and he went a very long way. He is very, very fast.
What about the all-important numbers, you ask? Well, Dan had set me to try and do a 250 TSS day, and in 2.5 hours, we got pretty close, guys. We got to 200 TSS for the 2 hours, or 2.5 hours, which was pretty good. We averaged over 40 Ks an hour for that chop, so massive kudos to the guys in that group. Really unlike any other Fondo that I've ever done, where everyone just went, right, let's get this done. And it was, it was really good.
As for the course, look, I had ridden a lot of that before in the now defunct San Miranda Mudgee Handicap. And then there was a road race on the Sunday. In fact, fun fact, it's the first time I ever raced against... It was, I'm still talking, you know. First time I ever raced against Sam Hill, got in a break with Sam Hill, Ben Hill. The Hill brothers attacked us. They weren't on the same team, I might point out. They attacked us in the last bit, and we were coming back in there. I was getting PTSD. I'm like, I remember this. Getting absolutely plumped by them. Anyway, that was actually one of my better results. There you go. Just throw that in there. So yeah, there's just lots of good riding around here.
Do I want to go into the markets? Under no circumstances do I ever want to go into markets. So I got a question for you, Elizabeth. So we're rolling out. Well, not we're rolling out. We've got 20 Ks in. And this guy comes up to me. He's like, hey, Chris, have you got any water? Right?
Okay.
And so I looked down at his bottle cages. And he's got no water bottles.
Aww.
And I've got two water bottles. Which I was intending that they're my water bottles. I will go through 2 water bottles filled with powder in this particular event. Do I give him one of my water bottles and therefore shortchange myself? Do I, which is what I did, say, I'll see how I'm going in the last hour, I'll give you one then, if you're still here. Or option C, how understanding are you of someone else's misfortune when it will impact your own ride?
Well, to me, I'm happy to help someone out, no problem. But being someone who's super organized and living with someone who is normally not super organized, I would begrudgingly hand it over because my head would say.
So what happened is one of his water bottles fell out of his.
Oh, well then.
No, but that's on the rider. 100%. That's on the rider. Your water bottles, the bottles have to fit properly. This is the stuff you test. You know if you're going to do the Mudgee Classics in rough roads, test that your water bottles don't fall out. So for me, it's a bit of like, see how I'm going in the last hour.
Now I actually feel worse for that person because as someone who works a full-time job with 2 kids, sometimes it's like you just can't mentally keep across every single little thing.
And you can have a bit different opinion as well. Let us know your thoughts on how helpful should you
Chris
be.
Miller should always be helpful.
I'm
just
giving you
always
nothing.
make him
Nothing.
help you. He needs to learn the lesson
You can
himself.
bridge that gap for me. All right, guys, we're going to probably say farewell. The last thing I want to quickly say is this, I think, really highlights the Mudgee Classic. The girls are in here having a bit of a play. Elizabeth we're in the market for about 4 seconds. I don't even know what that was. There's only so much chutney you can look at. We're not a chutney family. Don't send us chutney.
Actually, I do like chutney.
Do you like chutney? Eggs and chutney?
Oh, eggs, chutney,
That's a fail.
avocado, and mushrooms.
Don't vote below because that clearly is rubbish. But yeah, look, obviously this is what this event is more about from my perspective, and I think from a lot of people's perspective, it's a bike event that happens, but alongside that you've got everything else going on in this town that you can go and enjoy. And the bike race ride isn't hard enough that it just destroys you, or you have to spend the day before pre-preparing dramatically. So guys, if that kind of Fondo interests you, I think the Mudgee Classic is the one for you. However, I hear next year the course is changing again, so, you know, we'll see. Alrighty guys, peace. Big shout out to James Yaffa for putting this event on, and we will see you super soon. Bye now. Kira, I got a quick question for you. What kind of petrol do we put in the van?
Diesel.
Diesel. Has Dad ever made that mistake before?
Yes.
We'll cut that bit. Right, okay.